We're still continuing with the Georgia Fund 1 resolution. Councilman Smallwood asked a question here. You can barely hear him. But he want to know, how could one person have so much authority? Let's see if we can find an answer on this. After all, it's all about getting to the root core of why they're having problems in the city of Gordon.
I try to talk loud. Everybody can hear me. My interest in this is, I didn't realize that one council person could make a decision on any of those things that we got each one of us look at. I didn't know. I thought council had to make a meeting after meeting to talk about and vote on anything like that. I didn't know one person had that authority to close or open an account that way. You might be wrong, I am.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. When I talked to the woman in the office, she told me that. She said, Mr. Reed, be it known that you are the only individual that's on this account that has authorized transferring money and closing this account. And I should tell you something, if I had authorized nobody to transfer about $1. And I will admit, the note that I'm supposed to pay the auditor so we can get this thing going, that's the only one I said. I asked in the meeting, could we get $10,000 out of the jury and pay the auditor? And Mr. Wallace said to me, you need to write me a note for that. And I did. It was not present, it's been in the paper, and so we...
Wait a minute. He said it'd been in the paper. Now, I remember Jack Kingston came to Brooks County in Quitman, and he said if it's not in the paper, it didn't happen. But here, it seems as if, though, this council member is saying that something was in the paper. Well, let's just continue. Sorry to interrupt.
And I was not issued my name and say close the account. I don't know what's going on with the account. I'm the one standing there saying, they saying I had authorization. I didn't know that either. But once I learned that, then I said, hey, we're going to get a handle on this. Because whatever went on, I want to know myself because I'm involved with it. And I didn't authorize nobody to move any money. And we're not talking about $10,000 either.
He says, and we are not talking about no $5,000 or $10,000 either. So I guess he means that there's a lot more money than any of us could imagine. We see Edith has his hand up. Let's see what Councilman Edith has to say.
Before the end of last year, how many other people were on that signature besides you? I understand that the previous, could I have Mr. Brown who known it before?
Sure, well here it is right here, the original.
Very convenient that this would be available at the meeting. She's doing an outstanding job. And we must commend her for just having these documents available. We really should commend her. And she gets them real quickly. And we got to thank her for doing an outstanding job as having this document, because if she had not had this document, it couldn't have been discussed. She'd have had to go back to the office. So I commend her for having this document available for Mr. Edie to make his point. Listen, please.
I think it's way done. Y'all need to get one second. One second, wrong.
Meet the man before they took us off.
Okay. Before the first of the year.
No. She said that I was throwing in on March, sometime in March of 2013. It was changed. Some of the accounts were changed or something.
It was changed to pay directly out of the general fund account instead of being deposited straight to the general fund savings where it originally set up. Instead of having to make extra transfer each time, we had to put it to go directly to the general fund checking account to save itself.
But when you say we, who
the mayor Turner, you and me signed it.
No, we signed it, but I didn't know what y'all were doing. As for the transfer, no. I'm not going to say it. Like, I did not know y'all transferred.
Well, that's read. I mean, you that read something. So
Mr. Reese seemed that Councilman Reese seemed he really want to make it clear that no, I didn't know that you all were transferring money. He want that to be clear. Of course, Mr. Councilman Edie definitely got to come back on that, and we appreciate Mr. Edie. He seemed like he was very informed. We got to commend him for being thorough in the ongoings of the city of Gordon.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says, but let me tell you something. My name is there, but I have not authorized nobody to transfer no money.
You don't have to, if one of the other ones do it.
But when we figured, I figured the ones that transferred, let him close. I didn't authorize nobody to transfer, so I'm not authorizing nobody to close.
That's what I have a problem with that. Good. But the record shows that you, Mayor Turner, and Ms. Brown were all on that, and anybody that was moved before the end of the year, back in the last 8 to 10 years, when the council voted to move all that money, then they
We voted as a council as a
right.
whole.
We certainly did.
Okay, I got no problem with that. As a whole council vote. But as an individual, let's make sure the record reflects that I did not, as an individual, authorize one penny to be transferred to any account.
And so Councilman Reese made it unequivocally clear. He said, let the record reflect that I have not authorized, well, you heard it. Let's hear a little bit more. We'll close this out.
Any further discussion? Do I offer recommendation?
What we need to do now, by the way, I think we need to put a few signatures on it, just to keep it going, or just leave it just with Mr. Greason or Ms. Brown.
Right about now, my recommendation would be that we just table this
Okay.
until, further, you know.
And it was tabled. And it was tabled. Mary Ann Whippaloo, we just want the audit complete, and normally this is a routine procedure. The city attorney Joseph Boone and who can vote? They undoubtedly wants to remove the
Our
mayor.
next item on the agenda is the city attorney's contract.
This is the city attorney contract. Councilman Reese made the motion that we terminate the city attorney Joseph Boone.
Motion has been made and seconded.
The motion was made and seconded. And of course, I says everybody must understand that there is no contract with the city attorney Joseph Boone. Therefore, prior to Mayor Whippaloo, who failed to produce an engagement letter in the past, and how much money have been paid to the attorney without any contract? Again, what is this, and can the current mayor be at fault? Because they never had an engagement letter before, they never had a contract before, and all of a sudden now, well, listen please.
That we terminate the contract with the city attorney.
Discussion. He does not have a contract. He works strictly for, the council. We approved it and everything, and we can end it, but, it doesn't have, it doesn't have to have a contract.
Mr. Edie been on the council for 30 years, and he know more about it, I guess, than anybody on the council, from the appearance anyway. And he's saying that they never had an engagement letter, never had a contract, and so I'm sure that he knows what he's talking about. Let us continue.
What about you?
Any further discussion? Motion has been made and seconded. We take a vote. All in favor?
May it be a roll call vote, please. Question by name.
Start with Sam.
Terry Reese, yes.
Here, Edith abstain.
Council. This person.
No.
Yes. Council, yes. Yes.
Can't vote. According to the city code, has to be 3-3 tie for the mayor to vote.
Say 322 of the chart. Section 322.
Yeah, this is all the council.
Power of Tennessee. A mayor as the chief executive of this city, the mayor shall see that all laws and ordinances of the city are faithfully executed, appoint and remove for cause with confirmation of appointment or removal by the council. All officers, department heads, and employees of the city, except otherwise provided in the charter.
Wrong section.
What we call
Attorney.
Go ahead. Recess, then.
Hang on.
Section 8 of the charter. The mayor, as we started off with section 3.22, powers and duties of mayor. As the chief executive officer of the city, the mayor shall continue to read, council reads section 8.
what's it for? 322A. Participate in the discussion of all matters brought before the city council and vote on such matters only in the case of a tie vote, except that the mayor may vote in all elections for officers who are elected by the city council in impeachment or removal proceedings, whether there is a tie or not.
If you think the attorney is an officer,
Still have 12. The city attorney is appointed by the council and serve at pleasure. Take 4 votes. The mayor is not included.
Council, would you read both parts first? Council, read both parts first.
The city shall appoint a city attorney who shall be a member of the state bar of Georgia, who shall have actually practiced law for at least 1 year. The city attorney shall serve at the pleasure of the city council.
Right there. Okay, read on.
The city attorney shall be responsible for representing and defending the city in all litigations in which the city is a party. May be the prosecuting officer in a municipal court. Shall attend the meetings of the council as directed. Shall advise the city council, mayor, and other officers and employees of the city concerning legal aspects of the city affairs, and shall perform such other duties as may be required of him by virtue of his position as city attorney. The city council shall provide for the compensation of the city attorney.
automatic excuse the difference between 4.12, read section 3.15. Council institution. Section 3.15.
Voted, except that paragraph provided in subsection B of this section. 4 council members shall constitute a quorum and shall be authorized to transact the business of the city council. Voting on the adoption of ordinance shall be by voice vote, and the vote shall be recorded in the journal. But any member of the city council shall have the right to request a roll call vote, and such vote shall be recorded in the journal. Except as otherwise provided in this charter, the affirmative vote of 4 councilors shall be required for the adoption of ordinances, resolution, or motion.
You
made a motion?
Right.
For 4 votes.
We have 4 councilors, the mayor vote.
That's fine. American votes.
But if the mayor can't vote, then how can we have a quorum with 3 people in the mayor? That would have been a quorum.
I continue, council. Excuse me. What was that question?
I said if the mayor cannot vote, how could there have been a quorum with 3 legal people in that situation?
Voting having a quorum, he has nothing to do with each other.
It's kind of, we've been told by higher up and outside this council that the mayor has a vote.
I'm sorry, what you say?
We've been told by others in GMA that have documented that the mayor has a vote in matters pertaining to the city. She can cast a vote.
Certainly. Not as a member of the council.
She is considered a member of the council per se then.
No. If that's the case, and she's a part of the council, Mr. Reed, there's been multiple violations of open meetings act because her own attorney stood up.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is what I'm talking about. I saw the same thing in Meigs, Georgia. For the first time in my life, I've seen a city attorney come out after a mayor at a public meeting or a council member at a public meeting. I just never seen this type of behavior before. Normally, these government entities they give the appearance of professionalism. But now the question is, as a novice, to me, how can any attorney, the attorney in Meigs or the attorney here in Gordon, how can they represent the mayor and the city council and the taxpaying public when they point fingers, when they seem as if though they have joined a group of people against some of the elected officials in Gordon on council? Not all of them, because it seems as if though some of them are friends of this attorney, and wherein others may not be a friend of this attorney. Now, I believe that people from around the state of Georgia and around the United States of America should take notice of this. I don't know if this is authorized and certified procedures for attorneys in the state of Georgia, but it seems kind of strange to me, being a novice, so I'm not an expert. I don't want nobody to think that I'm an expert. But it just seems to me that if your attorney can attack you like this, it's almost impossible for them to represent you, the council, the city councilman. It just don't seem right. Let us continue.
You said she was not
He argued for hours, she was not.
Your attorney said she
No,
could
her
vote.
attorney.
But yours said she could vote, but his concerned sister said she could vote. You never could vote. You said she could vote. She is considered a member of the council.
Well, look, let me just say this. I'll do what you want to. I don't own this job. If you got 4 votes, I'm fine.
It's one thing that we must acknowledge. This attorney, Joseph Boone, didn't say 3 votes. He said, you get 4 votes without the mayor's vote, and I'm out of here. And that should not be misconstrued with anything. He made it clear. He thinks that the mayor cannot vote. Now, but even at that, if the mayor and council say we don't want you, then why should he want to even serve as mayor, as attorney for the mayor and council and the people when he's not wanted? I mean, that's makes good sense to me. Moreover, when a superior court judge in the state of Georgia look at this and they see that there is no professional relationship between the attorney, which the mayor can appoint with the votes as required, but why would the state of Georgia allow this confusion to go on and on and on? And some people in the community, as you will hear on other videos on this playlist, believe that it's all about the audit and accounting for the money.
Gone. 4 votes for that mayor. But it doesn't settle one other thing. I'll still owe money up to the point that I do get terminated. And I told you that last time, nothing happened. So what's going to happen, regardless of how this one comes out, I'm going to have to enforce my right to get paid.
You will you get right. You say you're not denying this.
You
submitted a $20,000 invoice to be paid.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Well, Mr. Baskets did it twice that.
He did not submit that to one month. That was on the period of tax.
That's since the end of February. You need to read the statement.
You need to read the statements. Now, is that speaking down to an elected official of the people? Why would this take place at a public meeting before the voters and before the world? It seems to me that at some level there should be some kind of professionalism in the eyes of the world, and not this bickering in the state of Georgia under Republican Governor Nathan Deal. It's something wrong. Not to mention the fact that in Meigs, Georgia, in Warrenton, Georgia, let me continue, I'm sorry.
You got a check for $7,500 now in the month of March.
March the 3rd. That's the last payment.
So the $20,000, what's that payment for?
That's March, April, and May. You got the invoices, why don't you read them?
You got the invoices. Why don't you read it? Now, how does that sound in a governmental body representing our form of government? Why? And he's an attorney. Why would you talk to the people's rep in this manner? But then again, as I've said, I'm a novice in this, so maybe.
Listen, here's what you got.
Let me give you anything.
And I'll give it to you anyway.
Okay, let me get that.
Well, he made a statement. You know, he doesn't know what I'm doing, so I want to explain it. You got 4 EEOC complaints. You just had a federal lawsuit filed by Mr. Chinholster. You got just...
Now, let me pause as he outlined these complaints here. If he's the attorney for the city, it seems to me that this should fall his lot to defend the mayor on these issues, to defend the council members, and defend the tax-paying public. So I'm wondering, why would It's something just don't seem right to me. And I'm going back to what I said before. How can an attorney represent a council and mayor that you are given the impression that you do not have their best interests at heart? And if you cannot communicate and have a proper dialogue with these people, then how can you represent these people in the city? This is the same thing that we see happening in other small cities. So personally, I believe from what I've reviewed that many of these small Georgia towns need to look at the relationship between the mayor, the city council, the city manager, and the attorney. And in some cases, the judges and members of law enforcement. They need to look and have open discussion so the citizens are not disenfranchised when it comes to having who they voted for to represent them at governmental meetings.
And others, you got the citizens who, mayor, you got whistleblowers who,
Let me say this. I know your name and that, the EOC, those are the ones that are under this administration, that Shinoff and all the others. We're not a part of this, and it's coming under this. I understand that, but I have nothing to do with that.
I'm not saying who did it. You got the first Secretary of State investigation for election fraud.
Attorney Little.
You got the Attorney General investigating the meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Right now, the motion has been made and seconded that effective immediately tonight, you're no longer the city attorney.
Well, that's fine. You got 4 votes. I'll accept that.
Not taking 4 votes.
Disruption. We often see this at this meeting, and they'll say that she cannot govern the meetings, but you could watch through all these videos, and I don't know why. I can't figure out why the mayor or the chief of police will not cite Georgia law. I think it's rule. I got it, but I can't think of it. They're about a violation of public meetings, disruption of public meetings. I don't hear the chief of police stepping up and quoting that law that much as they do in Valdosta, Georgia, and Thomasville, Georgia, some other places that I've been. It seems as if though they'll tell you we'll take you out from outside. Well, if they violate the law, they need to take them outside and possibly to jail for disrupting a public meeting. And so we see this repeatedly. It is as if though when the mayor calls for the chief of police to do his duty, as in Valdosta when 15 of us were arrested for disrupting a public meeting, and we went to court and we won the case. But the bottom line is that why is it that the mayor seems like she don't have any support from the people that she should have in the operation of the government business of the people? So if she can't get the chief of police to maintain order and discipline, or to remove people from the audience when she asked them to, then what's wrong with that picture? I don't want to be one-sided, but it is what it is, as you will see on this playlist. I'm only asking you not to take my word. Please do not take what I'm saying. Watch the video and see for yourself the disruptions at these meetings, and watch the action and see how many people actually go to jail or are charged with a misdemeanor for disrupting and violating Georgia law in the city of Gordon. It's just that simple. All this disruption should not occur. I have never seen as much corruption and commotion as I've seen in recent months from Meigs, Georgia, and Gordon, Georgia. It just don't make sense. And yet, in Atlanta, The big wheels, they could care less. Listen, please.
Attorney,
Lana, can you give me a copy of those minutes so I can follow up with Mr. Ritter?
This right here?
Yes, ma'am.
That's already like.
we accepted the motion that you are no longer an executive. Motion is that they say that effective tonight, you are no longer a city attorney. Move the next item.
The mayor said that as of tonight, you're no longer the city attorney. Well, I'm sure that the attorney is saying we didn't get the votes, and so you can't do that. It's against the law. If it is against the law, then why haven't somebody from the state level stepped in to define what is what, according to what has been approved in Gordon's city charter? So it seems as if though all this confusion is causing the citizens to lose faith and confidence in their city government.
We have to question, Mayor.
The motion has been made. Second.
I understand that. I'm trying to help you if you'll listen to me. I can't just quit doing stuff. I've got piles of documents in my office. There has to be somebody to turn this information over to you.
You will turn that immediately over to the office tomorrow.
Who's up?
Mayor.
No, I'll turn it over to the city attorney.
I want a motion that we give the mayor the authority to appoint an interim.
Excuse me,
Make some kind of appointment.
and we have a second. You might want to say it. All in favor? All in favor that we make the appointment of an attorney to fill that role. Authorizing it.
They are trying to approve a motion to appoint an interim mayor of the city of Gordon, since Joseph Boone, the current attorney, according to some, is no longer the attorney.
The motion was made and second. All in favor? She can't hear you.
What was the motion? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Since the document that the present attorney had has been turned to another attorney, I make the motion to appoint a new interim tonight. Since it has to be an attorney, he turns his case over. That's the motion.
The reason for that is there has to be some continuity. I'm not trying to screw up the city operation. I want there to be a smooth transition. By the same token, I have an obligation just not to come out of City Hall and dump a bunch of documents on the mayor's desk.
You understand that?
And the second thing is, it's going to take some time to whoever this person is get to that speed. I don't intend to do that for 3 years.
You don't respect it.
Well,
Police start.
must have so far, but I haven't paid 3 months.
You know what's going on there, no time, you already got a check. What have you looked at?
I asked the same question last time. I don't know. Except the mayor's controlled clerks and what he authorizing invoice, which is not authorizing control either.
You don't like to
And always said that I want to bring it before council, have council look at this. Because I know I'm not getting the assistance aid me, that's me.
I disagree with the mayor, respect that. I disagree.
We don't want to get into that.
Well, you brought it up. I want to get into it. You make a statement. I've got books and books of things where I've tried to.
once again, it seems as if though the mayor has, as the mayor are without any an attorney. She's without an attorney to represent her or the city or the council. It seems as if though there is too much hostilities for this attorney, and this mayor, and this council, except for maybe his friends or vice versa. It seems like they get along, but it seems like there's a major dysfunction. And somebody got to say it, because it's tearing the city apart, much like what is happening in Meigs, Georgia, as you will see on Meigs Mayor Linda Harris playlist. And while you're at it, Google Lumpkin, Georgia, Dawson, Georgia, Quitman, Georgia, and many other Georgia cities and towns that are having likewise problems without any help whatsoever from those sitting in powers or positions of power, sitting in positions of power. And somebody got to report it, because the news media seems to be a part of the problem when it comes to keeping the citizens in Georgia ignorant to what is happening in their local governments.
Go ahead.
Y'all just let it pay me, we'll be fine. I'll get out of here.
Not a problem.
The attorney say, just pay me. Y'all just pay me, and I'll be out of your hair. Those are his words.
I can't hear them. They can't hear you.
I vote that we pay, we don't have a,
We had one motion on the floor, we never voted on. Your motion to do the
what's the deal with this? A motion is already set.
All in favor?
roll call vote.
Roll call vote.
Terry, yes.
Terry E. abstain.
Notice, Tara Edith, abstain, abstain, abstain. That is what we hear on many of these videos. These videos will speak for themselves, and every council member have a right to vote as he or she pleases. So we want to thank Mr. Edith for abstaining on this issue. I heard somebody say, yes, I can't hear them, but let's continue. It's sad that we could not hear, because I think the citizens and the voters have a right to hear. And they should speak loud enough so people can hear. I don't understand why these people talk like they have bubble gum in their mouth. That's right, bubble gum or something. But they won't speak up. It don't make much sense under our form of government why they just won't speak up. Even without a mic, this you see. Yes! Abstain!
Now we're getting back to the
Another thing, it seems as if though this council is talking among themselves rather than talking to all of the citizens. And I have a problem with that as well.